I'm gonna start recording.
Hey guys, it's me. Oh, we should do like a test recording to make sure everything's working.
Everything's working, I promise you.
All
Okay.
functions are part
As
of
long as you
our
say that.
All
all
right,
systems go.
all right. I'm gonna start in three, two, one. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Johnson Report. We'll be doing another assignment. Hello, Miss Hall. Hello, hello. I'm joined here today with Matthew Perry.
Hello, it's me.
I'm also joined with Dylan Walcott.
Hello, Miss Hall.
Well, now that we're out,
And hello, YouTube.
say hi to YouTube. Say hi to YouTube.
Now that we're formally
Hi,
acquainted
YouTube.
again,
What?
all right, let's get into it.
Okay.
On a new right of
Let's
abortion.
get into
All
it.
right. So we will be
Woohoo!
doing, like Matthew just said, unenumerated rights. Um, and Matthew, you wanna tell the audience what thing we're talking about?
We're talking about the incredibly controversial and sensitive topic of abortion.
Before we get to that, let's recover what enumerated rights are because
Ooh,
some
good
people might
call,
not know
Dylan.
what that
Good
is.
call, Dylan. See, Dylan's
So
Dylan's good.
enumerated rights are rights that are like our rights,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not explicitly written down.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be like like rights
Specifically in the
that just
Constitution.
yeah, like specifically in the Constitution, right? So
Yeah.
rights that aren't written down in the Constitution that but we as American people have.
Yeah.
So
hmm
we're going to go over an example of that, which is abortion. I guess we're discussing whether or not that is an enumerated right. Is that correct?
Well, okay. To be fair, I don't know how when the Constitution was written, they would know about abortion.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
probably didn't occur to them.
abortion wasn't writ. The Constitution wasn't written with abortion in mind. So
Just how, like, if you go on any social media site, they'll be like, the founding fathers never understood that guns and weaponry would get this advanced.
well, yeah, it's sort of like that.
Anyway, who wants to start us off?
Yeah. Okay. Seth, how about you start us off,
Oh,
Seth?
I mean, like, I'll try. All right. So abortion, basically, yeah, it's an unenumerated right, but recently it's become under fire of more like, oh, you're killing a person. Um,
Which brings up, it really does bring up an interesting discussion, right? Like, what do we want to consider abortion versus murder, or like, is it who has the right to do that, right? I-
He has the right to murder
I think it's
soldiers.
I think it's
Nah.
not really okay. This is just my own opinion. I
Yeah,
don't
let's
think
let's
it's
hear it.
really our right to say if like someone else doesn't want like to raise a child. I
Hmm.
don't think it's really someone. Let's say like hypothetically, there's someone in California, like a single mother or soon to be mother, who's
Hmm.
not financially stable, and isn't in the right mindset to raise a child.
Yeah,
Yeah, how is it some like guy from Tennessee's like business to say you cannot kill that baby or
yeah. That always is an
that
interesting
like
conversation,
cell
right?
that's inside of you?
hmm
Because there's people vouching for the unborn child, but then of course there's the mother who's like, well, I don't really know what
You
to do
guys
here.
aren't going through like the 9 months of
Yeah,
labor. Like,
like this is me we're talking about, not you. So
yeah,
Also, think about the baby. You're condemning it to live like 18 years, or
if even.
yeah, if even, with their parents. You're condemning it to live. Maybe the baby's not ready to be born in a more of a like a
Like, would you rather that child be born like
and have a
maybe
miserable life. Yeah.
if and their parent like puts them in like an adoption house because they can't take care of them
yeah, I
and
mean, of course, people always, sorry to cut you off there, but of course,
you're
people
fine.
always have like potential and no one knows what's gonna happen,
You
right?
could be
But
killing the next Elon Musk.
Yeah.
exactly. But
Exactly.
you know, to to force the mother to follow your own ideals. I think that's kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Like, is that the right of the government to classify that as murder, or is it the mother's right to just do whatever they want with their body? You know,
To
that's
quote Tangled, "Mother knows best," and I think mothers knows best
that's a great quote
especially
right there.
I'm glad you
with especially
specified
their
from
children.
Tangled.
Yeah, Rapunzel.
Uh,
Should we sing the song real quick? Yeah.
no, no, no. I'm muting you.
Please.
Uh, Miss Hall, we cut back. Dylan sang the entire song. Sorry
I
you
did. It
missed
was
it.
great. There was like harmonies everywhere, and it was very beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
Actually, sounded exactly like in the movie.
It was almost like I played the song through my microphone.
Yeah.
exactly like it, like a in studio recording. Beautiful, perfect.
All right,
Uh,
what should we talk about? What should we move on to?
uh,
Uh,
um,
let's say this: if you're a woman and you are in a very financially unstable situation and you're just not ready to have a child, how would you feel about your own personal abortion?
uh, I think it. Well, you also have to think about like that can't be an easy decision for
Yeah,
No,
the mother either.
like that would be very painful to have to like do that, right? Like no one wants to just abort their child. I mean, it has to be very sad and painful to
Like
have to
mhm,
like go
I'm
through that.
I'm pretty sure like at least 75% of them at least want it, but they know they can't. They just don't want it to be. I don't like live a horrible life.
Hmm.
yeah.
I kind of hear that a lot as a counter argument, like against abortion. It seems like a lot of people are saying that the mothers are just not being thoughtful and they just use abortion as a way out. But it
Well,
seems like that's
Mhm,
typically not the case. You know,
well,
yeah.
there's a reason for it.
besides the whole like they want to have a kid but they can't support it. There's also more to the fact that like um I don't know. I'm probably gonna bleep this word out just because I YouTube and
Hmm.
for
I know what you're talking about.
Montessori. Uh, if like a woman gets I guess I'm just gonna sexually assaulted by
You could
like
say raped.
okay, I was trying
Yeah,
to avoid saying that
raped.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Raped.
raped. RAPE. Um,
Oh,
and
oh, R8PED.
oh, thank you, Dylan. Anyway, if they do, and they get pregnant from that, what are they just supposed to have the kid?
Yeah, I mean that's traumatizing enough for that to happen, and
Yeah.
then just to be forced to
Thinking
keep the
about think
child.
about raising a stranger's baby.
Yeah,
That's
like yeah, you
that's kind of
could do it, but like you look at that kid and you go back to that traumatizing moment in your life.
Really, I feel like we can use this as an analogy to Dr. Manette from The
Um,
Tale of Two Cities, right?
yeah, when he
With
got
his
raped by
workbench.
like some guy in the prison and
No,
had
no.
Lucy.
With
No,
with his workbench, his workbench, he's like, "Oh no, I'm falling into a pit of despair because I've looked at my workbench of shoes and now I'm gonna make shoes."
yeah, like, I
It's
guess you could.
exactly like that.
But
imagine looking at your child every time and being reminded of its horrible conception.
I think you would, to an extent, resent the kid and
Yeah.
not really treat it like it's your child, more like a mistake or
I
That's
think
not that's not healthy for anyone, you know?
no,
Like that's
especially
just a
not the
horrible
child.
relationship.
He
I
can
think
help it.
children need to be born like with passion. If you're gonna have a kid, you're gonna like you're gonna love each other to love it. You know
Because
what I
like
mean?
it's gotten to the point where it's like, oh, I was an accident.
Uh-huh. That's like that's the problem. Babies should be born with the parents wanting them to be born.
Yeah, I mean we're not like forcing that upon someone. Like if some
Yeah.
like person is just like, well, I just don't want a kid. That's too much responsibility. I guess
I think
that's still your opinion. Like that's still what you think. And if you don't think you don't want a kid,
yeah.
it's like,
I'm pretty sure the main problem with it is, right, not maybe not abortion itself, but the fact that the government is restricting it, or like, I
Or
guess
just straight up
technically,
banning it.
yeah, or straight up banning it. I mean, I know I'm pretty sure now it's in the power of the states, correct? Like each
Yeah,
state.
certain states have
Mm-hmm.
their own laws on how it
Yeah, so
works.
it's passed down from a federal level to a state level. Like
Hmm.
as a lot of things happen, we've seen that a lot in the Constitution. Like federal don't make all the decision; it gets passed on to state. But it's still kind of weird that that would be like something that the government has the power to do.
I
It's like
don't.
what's
I don't
the,
think
the
it's
common
their
question is
business.
common question is what's next? Like
Well, I mean, it's
What
not.
more can the government control about your personal life and decisions and body?
I think okay, this is kind of like not a complete comparison, but
mhm.
in like the 1920s, like 18 for it was some period, it was like 100 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
America banned the sale of alcohol in like the entire country.
Yeah,
And
prohibition.
that was everyone basically collectively saying we don't want to drink. But like as soon as that became like an amendment. Like you could not do it. It was absolutely illegal. Everyone realized,
Yeah.
oh, this sucks. Why did we
Hmm.
do this?
Why can't we get drunk? What? This is horrible.
Yeah,
And
like
so, like, then you got people who are making their own alcohol and going blind because they don't know how to do it and they're doing it unsafely.
mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, that's actually a really good segue, Matthew, because like there's already been talk of like unsafe abortions and people going ahead
Yeah,
with it
like
anyway, going to private doctors and
with the
stuff
coat
like that.
hanger, you know what I mean? I didn't want to bring that up, but like people do unsafe abortions and that's kind of really dangerous.
Like I think
That's
it's more
that's
that's more
very
of an
dangerous.
act of desperation. Like because
Mhm.
after a certain point, like the egg cell kind of forms into like something that like resembles kind of a human, and I think after that point, it's much harder to have an abortion. Uh, so they
Mhm.
they do anything they can. They like look garbage up on the internet that some like redditor wrote in 5 minutes, saying like,
Oh yeah, this is how you do an abortion.
and that's the problem. Like people take what they see on the internet way too seriously. Like, oh yeah, you can use like a construction kit to get an abortion. Like, no, what are you talking about? But
I've seen drink nail polish.
yeah, that too. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
right now, we're thinking, oh, that's stupid. Why would anyone do that? But like, if you're desperate enough, and your mind starts going, well, that could work. Like I know nail polish
hmm
like murders my insides.
Yummy nail
People
polish.
get desperate.
Yeah. Uh,
Well,
Uh,
I think that's about it, isn't it?
how long have we
How do we
been
want
and
to
I
wrap
got I
up?
got one more thing.
Oh, go ahead. Go
The
ahead,
the
sir.
entire time we've been talking about like people in dire situations, that being financial struggles and stuff like that. They've been raped, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what if it's like a woman who has a really good standing for herself?
Some Cali mom that just doesn't want a kid.
Yeah, some Cali mom that just doesn't want a kid. Where do we draw the line with that?
So like, I believe what we were talking about is just you don't draw the line and you leave it up to the parent because we don't want to have the government inf- like infringing on maybe our rights that just aren't necessarily written down, right? So
Mhm.
maybe this standard still stands, like, sorry, the standard still stands whether or not the predicaments of it.
Mm-hmm.
The morality still stand.
Yeah, that is definitely true, right? Like it's maybe the parent is just immoral and they don't care, or
Yeah.
maybe it's out of desperation that they have to
Well, I
undergo
think if we're
that.
thinking it in like the worst possible thing, like she gets pregnant and she's like, oh, I don't want this. And
hmm
then she goes get an abortion. It's like, haha, it's over. Time to spend $10 million on a pool.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Time to go get another baby.
I would not want to be the kid of that parent. So that's just me speaking. I don't know how you two feel. I don't know how the world feels. I feel like I would be way more neglected than
Mm.
like other options. But that's
We're
just
getting
me.
controversial here, boys.
That's the point of this. Like, if you disagree with me,
That's
okay,
the
cool.
point. All right.
That's great, man.
I has the gameplay been enough yet?
Well, we're at 15 minutes.
Oh shoot, no way. Like we actually made good time. That's awesome.
Yeah, we didn't talk about like top 10 Naruto fights.
hmm
Which
Should we
number
end it
one
off?
is Kakashi and Obito? Dude, that fight's so cool at the end.
What are we gonna end this off with, boys?
Well, abortion, abortion.
Abortion is
Abortion. Say it
abortion
three
is
times and it goes away.
well. Isn't that what we were arguing against? We don't. I know.
I think, especially because we're in a generation and we're growing up in a generation that's more acceptive of
Awesome.
abortion. We kind of all have the same idea, the same set of values.
You're
So you
you're
think
killing the babies. You're killing them.
so are you
Yeah.
saying then, Matthew, that like once this new generation takes over government, you think that some enumerated rights like this will change and be more like prevalent?
I totally think so, yeah. As
Just more the fact that we had like 70.
generations like us that get more politically progressive and more politically just advocating for things like that, I think we're going to see more and more unenumerated rights go into the Constitution.
Yeah. Well, like some states have already banned it. Like
For real.
I think Texas banned it.
hmm
That's not very surprising.
Good thing I can buy like a 45 carbine in like 10 minutes, but you know, if I don't want to have a kid of some like stranger, I can't. I gotta go Oklahoma
Oh
for
well.
that one.
Not right here, Barter. Not right here.
You killing them babies, son? What you doing? You killing them babies?
You can't like not be condemned to a life of agony with a child that's not even wanted, but you can buy a bazooka.
Yeah, that's crazy.
hmm
Let's just talk about Texas until Miss Hall clicks off the video. Because I mean, what's going on
She
down
already
there?
clicked
Like,
off when you said we're talking about Texas. Hey, Miss Hall, we have our bloopers at the end. Stay and watch.
what are the bloopers? Just us talking about Texas?
Well, when I was 15, I had about 3 children, but you can't have one. What are you doing?
Cheerwine. What?
Cheering.
Sir, please speak up. What is that supposed to mean?
I'm sorry, dude, some of the arguments against this, they're just so stupid. Like, I guess
Sure.
that's like kind of privileged of me to say, but
Yeah.
come on.
Come on, man. Come
No,
on, man.
I honestly do not think it is a like, let's say like Matthew starts going, yeah, women should have the kids. Women should have the kids. I'm like, okay, Matthew, you're not a woman. You don't know what they go through.
So
You
you're
don't know
saying
their pain.
I know. I'm emo.
All right. Anyway, any last words?
Not really.
No, I think
I
we're
hope
good.
this hall is
Sign
approving
off.
of our topics and conversations. I feel like we did an okay job, right?
hmm
And now, Miss Hall, Madara versus the Kazekage.